Welcome to Wednesday Yoga. So if you got to see my late night note, this class is how we can develop resilience. There's no question about it. Some of us are born a little more resilient than others, but we can all develop resilience. And it all plays beautifully into yoga because although all exercise can be beneficial, yoga has the aspect of uniting. Yoga means to unite body, mind, spirit. And it's through the body, mind, spirit that we develop resilience, not just in one area, because then all the bodybuilders would be completely resilient, but maybe not flexible, not agile. And, you know, when it comes to developing resilience, our brains actually are a bit contradictory in that they love novelty and they also like repetition. So repetition, of course, is comfort, but novelty, something that's new and different, helps us develop new neural pathways and synaptic connections, which is just the nerves are all connecting. So when we do something new or we do something difficult that we're struggling with, we are really creating the ability to become more resilient. And let's face it, today that might just be one of our most important assets. And then I also want to address the faith, whether it's spiritually based or religion, whatever it is. I think we all know, and if we study the people who have a very strong faith, the Mother Teresa's, Dalai Lama, Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Buddhist monk, who I think I mentioned in our note, these people are of very strong faith. And at the end of the day, and at the end of our lives, or when we're nearing the end, resilience will probably come in the form of accepting that life is very circular. We spend a certain amount of time in this physical body, and then we're not in the physical body. But I don't want to go down this whole thing of the death, but because I have studied it so much, and I don't wish to die, and I don't wish anyone here to die, although there's a toast, may you live as long as you like and like as long as you live. I think by developing the wisdom to know that life in a physical body is finite, but that our spirits and our energy is absolutely eternal. It can't disappear. It's always going to be somewhere. So you're not crazy to talk to people on the other side, and you're not crazy if you hear something from the other side. Because I 100% believe, and I know, one of your fellow students here, Rick, gave me a book, and Michael Williamson, I think, or Williams, and he said one of the most irritating things for people on the other side is when we're not willing to hear that whatever they want to share with us. So, I mean, that was definitely, I did go down the rabbit hole, but I've been kind of busting to do that anyway, because I think the less we fear death and the more we accept that we will all sort of, like we drop our clothes at nighttime to go to bed, we'll drop our bodies at some point. But the more important point is to find joy in every single day. And to that end, I want to say two things before I forget them, because I will at the end of the class. When you leave the church, and I'm sorry at home you're not here, but maybe you'll come and visit Glen Manor Ravine, the tree that's almost close to the road, that is almost sideways, is worthy of a look. And the second thing I want to say, if you haven't been to Rosetta McLean Gardens, and if you don't know where it is, we can talk about it after class. It is so gorgeous. It's about 5 minutes, 10 minutes from here. And now's the time to go before the frost goes. So wherever you are listening to this class, get outside, find joy every single day. I think that probably makes the Creator happier than anyone. And if you don't understand resilience, perhaps you can use people around the world who truly grovel to survive every single day, how resilient they are. And then perhaps it'll remind each and every one of us how fortunate we are, how very fortunate we are, in spite of the vicissitudes and challenges that we all have. Okay, but by focusing on the positive. So we're going to warm up our backs, of course. So let's come down on laying on our backs on the mat. And begin by drawing your knees into your chest, one hand on each knee. And let's just do some gentle rocking from side to side, holding your knees in, perhaps little circles, whatever feels good, and become aware of your breathing. When I talk about body, mind, spirit, the connection is through the breath. So when we're breathing deeply and fully, our minds and our bodies, even our spirits, can be united in the desire to live fully, to embrace this very moment. There isn't any other moment except the next moment, which when it arrives, you're there. And then extend your left leg down in front, holding the right knee in towards your chest. You may wish to lift your shoulder blades up and tuck them under your heart center. Maybe tilt your chin towards the center of your chest as you pull the knee into your right knee into your ascending colon. And then tilt the right knee over to the right side with your right hand, just gently opening it. Place your left hand on your left hip, just opening the inner groin, inner thigh. Believe me, the Blue Jays are stretching their inner thighs. They're stretching everything because they don't want to injure themselves. They're now finally at the pinnacle of baseball. So they're going to be nice and limber for all the moves they need to make. And then bringing that knee back into the center, place your other hand, your left hand, on the outside of your right knee and draw it across your body, feeling the areas, the muscles, the joints, that would be the tendons that are attaching the muscles to the joints. Breathe into this area with caring awareness. The things that weaken us are blaming and shaming, whether it's blaming ourselves, shaming ourselves, or someone else. And guess what? It's okay to have those feelings. They're very human, they're very normal. But becoming aware of our self-talk, really hearing our inner thoughts, what we're saying. I mean, when you pay a therapist, they're listening to you talk, and that's how they get their clues about what's really going on. So you can be your own therapist, listen to what's going on, and then inhaling, come back to center, draw the knee one more time in towards your chest, pressing your thigh into your ascending colon, and then reach for your ankle and straightening your leg whatever amount you can. The knee won't be hyperextended, but you may be able to straighten your leg, drawing it towards you, stretching those hamstrings. Remember, when our hamstrings are nice and stretched, two things happen. Easier to sit up straight, and it reduces the chance of tearing them should we fall down. And then bringing the right knee back into the chest, let's draw the left knee up and extend the right leg straight down in front. Again, you're pulling now the left thigh into your descending colon. When we had both knees into our chest, we exert some pressure on our transverse colon, which connects ascending to descending. And then placing your left hand on the inside of your left knee, open your thigh to the left side. So stretching that inner groin, place your right hand on your right hip, that hip bone, your anterior, superior, iliac spine. So iliac is referring to that, the bone of the hips, the crest. Trying to keep your hips level, feeling the stretch in the inner thigh, breathing into it, and exhaling from it. Inhaling, come back to the center, and now place your right or opposite hand on the outside of your knee, taking it over to the opposite side. You're rolling over onto your right hip with your left knee coming over to the right, and you may turn your head perhaps to the opposite side of your bent knee. And you may notice a difference from one side to the other. One side doesn't have the tension or the stress. It's not how far you're going to go. It's what you can feel, what you can let go of, and what you can release. Inhaling, come back to the center and draw that left knee one more time, pulling your thigh into your descending colon, and now reaching for the ankle of that left leg, interlocking your fingers around the back of your calf or near your Achilles tendon, pulling a mostly straight leg towards your head. And releasing. Keep that leg bent. Place the sole of the foot on the floor, and let's draw the right knee in towards the chest once again. So your left foot is flat on the floor with the knee bent. And I just want you to point the foot, the right foot, flex, point and flex, point and flex, rotate, changing the direction. So in the other direction as well. And now place that right ankle on your left knee. Press your right knee away from you. Bring your left knee towards your chest, and let's just begin by interlocking the fingers below the left thigh, underneath the left thigh. Now, if you have a little slack in your arms at this point, you're going to feel this, of course, in the right hip joint. But if you have some slack in your arms and you're able to reach around in front of the left shin, go for it. If your shoulders are massively coming off the floor, then keep your hands interlocked behind the back of your thigh. And breathe into your right hip joint, keeping your neck long by tilting your chin just slightly towards the center of your chest. Perhaps tilting your tailbone a little bit towards your mat. That will intensify this stretch. So if it's too much, back off. We're not about stretching 100%. Go for 90%. Leave some space. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. And now bring that right knee right over top of the left knee. So both the knees are almost in alignment. Now, can you reach your ankles? So your left hand is grabbing the top ankle and your right is grabbing the bottom. So just grab the ankle on the side of your arm. Perhaps that's easier understood. And you're just pulling your knees towards you. So your knees are crossed tightly together. And release your hands out to the side, shoulder height, and then drop both knees over to the left, over to the left. Your foot can touch the floor if you like. And I know a couple of you have small injuries, so just be mindful. Everyone be mindful as you practice that you're not creating more stress, just more flexibility, openness, lengthening, and then inhale, come back to center, uncross your legs. Keep that right foot on the floor with the knee bent. Draw your left knee in towards your chest, and let's mobilize the ankle on the left side by pointing the foot. Flex, point, and flex, and rotate, making circles. Lubricating the joints, change. So when we mobilize our joints, it produces more synovial fluid to keep our joints working smoothly. Now place your left ankle on top of your right knee and press the right knee away from you. Breathing in place and then exhaling, draw the right knee towards you, interlock your fingers 2 inches below the knee, underneath the thigh. And you're pulling towards you, stretching the origin of your hamstring muscles. You can feel those in the back of your thigh, mobilizing the hip joint. It is the most stable joint in the body, but also can become inflexible. And then reaching around the front. If you have any slack in your arms, and if not, just maintain your interlocked fingers behind your thigh, or if your arms are long enough anatomically, some of us are blessed with longer arms or shorter. And, you know, in this position, if you just even want to do a little rocking, that will intensify some of the stretching. Always practicing with awareness, respect, and compassion. Do no harm. The first niyama, ahimsa. Do no harm. And then tilting your tailbone ever so slightly, or consider that you're lifting the small of your back off the floor. That intensifies this hip opener. Keep breathing. And releasing your hands, cross that knee tightly over the other knee, and then reach for your ankles and pull gently towards you. One hand on each ankle. Try to keep the shoulders on the mat. A little bit of pulling. Still working mostly the left hip. And that will do. Bring your arms out to the side, shoulder height. Inhaling in place, exhale, drop both knees over to the right. And perhaps turn your head to the opposite side. Inhale, come back to center, uncross your legs. Place the soles of your feet flat on the floor, heels lining up with your sits bones, and then bring your arms beside your body. Once again, tuck your shoulder blades underneath your heart center, just lifting up the shoulder, tucking them under, tilt your chin towards the center of your chest to lengthen the back of your neck. Arms are beside your body with your palms facing down. Press the soles of your feet into the mat. Press the small of your back into the mat. Let's just spend a moment here. Feel your lower abdominal muscles engaging as you press the small of your back into the mat. And then on an inhale, peel your spine off the floor, pressing up into bridge, Setu Bandhasana, lifting up, activating the muscles in the front of the thigh, your quadriceps, in the back of your thigh, your hamstrings. Let's also engage our gluteus butt muscles. The compression in the throat area helps to remove toxins from the throat. And at this time, I want to mention oil of oregano is still my go-to when I feel any kind of weird energy in my throat or a fever coming on, chills, anything at all. Take it right away. It's a blood purifier. And that's why you want to take it right away before the thing spreads throughout the body. One more breath in, pressing up. Exhale, slowly roll your spine back down onto the mat. Draw your knees into your chest. Now, we can either rock up to a seated position or you can gently roll over onto your side and press yourself back up. And then we're going to come on to all fours. Are you being blinded back there, Helen? Do you want the... Okay, we're enjoying the sunshine. Right. Maybe you need to bring your sunglasses to class. Okay, come on to all fours. Press your hands on the mat with your middle finger pointing forward. Your fingers are spread wide apart. Tech guy, I think they're okay. No, come on. Hey, no, she says she's okay. Honestly, yo, don't take all the sun. Don't take away my sunshine. You are my sunshine, my only sun. Okay, shut up. All right, let's curl the toes under. We're going to get into resilience here, kids. All right. Okay, lift your knees off the floor. Toes are curled under. Lift your knees off the floor. Engage your core. Now, if you don't feel you can hold as long as I'm asking you to hold, then you're going to come out sooner. Or you come out for a bit, take a break, and then come back. We won't be here forever. Feel your core engaging, your shoulders. And then inhale, lift your hips up. Lift your hips up. Keep your knees soft. Let's straighten one leg and bend the other. Feel the stretch in the back of the straight leg, please. Your calf, the back of your knee, your Achilles tendon. And please relax your neck. Let your head hang off your neck. Inhaling, exhaling, let's change. Press the opposite heel towards the floor, bending one leg, feeling the stretch in the back of your leg. Many, many benefits to downward facing dog. It's an inversion. It's a spine lengthening. It's strengthening. And one more time, changing. Back to the first side. Feel the stretch. Give your head a little bit of a swing. Just know you're not holding it, so you're not creating any tension in the neck. Your ears should be aligned with your inner arms. And then change one more time. Other leg, feel that stretch. And then coming back and hovering the knees once again in tabletop. You're going to get a break in a moment. I want you to feel your core again, working and activated. That's great. Take your knees as wide as the mat. Flatten the tops of your feet. Big toes are touching. And slowly take your hips back towards your heels. Release your torso between your thighs. And then I want you to bring your arms together, your palms together in prayer, in a prayer-like position. So your arms are on the floor. And then inhale at the elbow, bend at the elbow, and bring your prayer hands up towards your head. Stretching out the shoulders. Exhale, keeping your hands in prayer and lowering them back down. One more time. Inhale your prayer hands. Your elbows are staying on the mat. You're lifting your prayer hands up towards your head. Maybe even behind. Stretching the triceps. And then release and just leave your hands relaxed on your mats. And now move your awareness and your attention to the back and side rib cage. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling, draw the knees back together, curl the toes under. Let's just sit back on our heels for a moment, stretching your plantar fascia. Backs of your feet. I know this can feel a little resilience to tiksha. Yeah, if it's really painful, you come up on your knees. Anyway, we're done with that. Roll back onto the soles of your feet. Have a look when your feet are flat on the floor and you're bent over, that your feet are parallel. The outsides of your feet are parallel. We're going to really get into some more anatomy in the ensuing classes, just so that we're really doing ourselves a bigger favor by keeping our alignment as close to perfect as possible. And then we take what we learn in yoga class and we apply it to our everyday living. So your knees are bent. You're just letting your upper body hang. Remember, this is a nice stretch for the lumbar spine. You've got 5 vertebrae there. That seems to be where a lot of people have issues, because there's a lot of weight bearing down on it. And if we're not observing good posture when we're sitting and standing, well, that area can become aggravated. Okay, let's slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. And the last to come up will be your head. And then inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them back. And let's stretch the shoulders by taking our arms behind our bodies, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And take your feet a little bit wider apart. You might turn them out just slightly, but not a lot. Bend your knees. Inhale, lift your hearts, lift your gaze. Exhale, lead with your hearts as you fold forward, lifting your arms up and over whatever amount you can. Let your head hang. The crown of your head should be facing the floor. Release your arms and slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Your head is the last thing to come up. And then interlock your fingers the opposite way. You don't really have to think about it. You will feel it. So interlock the fingers the opposite way. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your gaze, lift your hearts. Keep your knees soft. You're going to keep them bent. Exhale, forward fold, bending from the hips, leading with your hearts, releasing your torso between your thighs. Your arms are coming up and over, whatever amount, and you're letting your head hang. And then release. Walk your feet back in towards one another. Keep your knees soft. Let your hands just drag on the floor. Give your head a shake. And really feel the weight being evenly distributed between your big toe mount, baby toe mount, center front of the back of the heel, and then slowly roll up, keeping the knees soft. Great. At any time, take a sip of water, and then coming up to the front of your mats for sun salutations. I should have jazzier music for this, shouldn't I? Well, we can't do it all. Maybe next week. Okay. Coming up, how's the heat? Should we take it down a bit? Yeah? Can anybody take it down? Sue, you see where it is? Behind the door there? Just take it down. Yeah, it's getting warm. Thank you. Inhaling in place, come to the top of your mats. Starting at the top of your mat, come right up to the front of the runway. You're going to take off here. Inhale, exhale, hands in prayer. Step your feet apart, arms up, reach up, look up, arc back. Feel like you're elongating the body as much as you're bending backwards. Inhale, bring your feet back together, lift out of your waist, hinge from your hips, reach forward, fingertips touching the floor. Please let your heads hang. Step your left leg back, drop your knee onto the mat. Left leg back, knee on mat. And then focus your gaze on the floor. Inhale, lift up, press through your back heel. Press through that heel. Shoulders stay over hips. Inhale, sweeping up. Press through that back heel. Really press through that back heel. You're not going to hit the floor with it, but you're going to press through it. That's going to make you feel really solid. Turn your hands forward. Spread your fingers apart. Take the other leg back. Here we are in our plank posture. Now, for those of us who may not feel that this is the right thing to do today, the full plank, bring your knees to the floor, lift your feet off and cross at the ankles, and then you can adjust the amount of pressure by coming forwards or backwards. If you're in the plank posture, keep your neck in line with your spine. Please draw your belly buttons in towards your inner spine and breathe. Overall strengthening posture. Brilliant for developing titiksha, the ability to handle hardships, aka resilience. Maybe just do a little rocking on your toes back and forth, just to distract yourself, and then bring your knees to the mat, flatten the tops of your feet, slowly take your hips back towards your heels, stretching out your upper body, releasing your belly and your diaphragm onto your thighs, leaving your hands where they are. Come forward, nice and low, like a snake in the grass or in your garden. Come slowly, and then release your chest on the mat when you're able, with your bum in the air. This is brilliant for maintaining flexibility, suppleness, and alignment of your spine. Slide everything out behind you. If your feet came off the mat, then scoot yourself forward. Bring your fingertips to align with the tops of your shoulders. Let your forehead rest on the mat. Bring your elbows into your side body and press your forearms down towards the mat. Tops of your feet are flat on the mat. Pressing your hips and pelvis in towards the mat. Roll an invisible alley with your nose to lengthen your neck. On an inhale, we're coming up into baby cobra. We're not using our hands. They're just parked on the floor. underneath our shoulders, activating the muscles in the lower, the middle back, purging adrenals and kidneys of toxins and stress. Eyes can be open or closed, rolled up towards your third eye, Ajna chakra. My third eye said the Jays are going to win on Friday, first game. One more breath in, lifting, exhale, lengthen and lower. Curl your toes under. You can come up onto your knees or just lift your hips up. Walk your feet a few inches forward. Make sure all 10 fingers are spread apart and pressing into the mat. And then bend your knees, press your belly onto your thighs, chest towards knees, ears align with inner arms, and now press your heels towards the mat. Doesn't matter if your heels touch or not. Feel the stretch in the backs of your legs. Breathe into them. Notice how much energy you feel. Earth telluric energy coming up through your hands and your feet. Lift that left leg up in the air. Look at your left hand. Swing that foot as far forward as you can. If it doesn't go very far, drop the opposite knee, pick the foot up at the ankle and bring it back to the front. And bring your other leg beside and let your upper body just hang in this lazy man's traction. Uttanasana. Engage your thighs by lifting on your kneecaps. Pull your bellies in to protect your lower back. Arms beside your ears. Sweep the arms in front, reaching up. Feet apart for balance. Look up and arc back, lengthening. Inhale, bring your feet back together. Lift out of your waist. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, hands in prayer. One more round. Inhale. Exhale, hands in prayer. Starting at the fronts of your mat, so you're going to run out of runway. Step your feet apart. Arms up, reach up, look up, arc back. Inhale, bring your feet back together. Lift out of your waist. Hinge forward, lengthening. Stretching as you fold. You'll notice you get more of your fingers and hands on the floor when you stretch before you bend. Step your right foot back. Drop your knees to the mat. One knee to the mat. Place your hands on that front knee. Focus your gaze on the floor. If you have issues with balance, inhale, come up. Press through that back heel. Keep your torso straight up and down. Try not to lean it forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up, pressing through your back heel. And breathe. Fingers are active. Keep pressing through the back heel. You may be lowering it towards the floor. Turn your hands forward, spread your fingers apart, bring them to the mat. Take your other leg back. Taking whatever plank position feels right for you today, whether the knees are on or off the floor, shoulders away from your ears. Most important thing is to feel your core engaging. You are strengthening your upper body, but you are developing resilience when you hold this posture. I also don't want to forget the importance of a gratitude journal. If you've never had one and you're struggling with ruminating over negative or worry or fear, start a gratitude journal. My goodness, write 3 things down a day, 3 to 5 that you're grateful for before you go to bed. It makes a world of difference. You do this for a few months or a year. I don't know how long I've done it for. Now I just do it mentally. Okay, release your knees, flatten the tops of your feet. Take your hips back towards your heels, stretching your core, your shoulders, arms, and wrists. Gathering your energy here. Leave your hands where they are. Lower your forearms and elbows onto the mat, and then come forward, staying nice and low. Bum stays in the air. When you are able, Release your chest and chin. I know this can feel very awkward. The more you practice, the less awkward it will feel. And when you understand the extreme benefits of 8 limbs on the floor, and even if you didn't realize them, you are getting them. Huge benefits to your spine, your adrenals and kidneys, and then send everything out the back. And of course, it's a position that also develops humility. And then draw your fingertips back towards the top of your shoulders, elbows into your side body, and press your forearms down onto the mat. Now, if you want to come up into the fuller expression of Cobra, you may wish to widen your feet, roll your baby toes in towards the mat. We'll all begin in baby Cobra, pressing hips and pelvis into the mat, roll an invisible alley, inhale, coming up into baby Bhujangasana. Keep your shoulders away from your ears, keep your elbows into your side body, and then if you wish to proceed further, press the floor away from you. Do not let your elbows wing out or your shoulders come up. So you probably need to keep a little bit of a bend in your arms, and again, letting your eyes open or closed, roll up towards your third eye. One more breath in, lifting, exhale, lengthen to lower. If you separated your feet, draw them back towards one another, hip width apart. Curl your toes under, press into your hands, lift your hips, walk your feet a few inches forward, and then bend your knees, press your belly onto your thighs, your chest towards your knees, align your ears with your inner arms, make sure you're pressing all 10 fingers into the mat so you have a little bit of a tunnel inside of your palm, that is your carpal tunnel. Exhale, press your heels towards the floor as you straighten your legs, pressing your sits bones towards the back of your mat in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And lift your right leg up in the air, look at your right hand, swing that foot as far forward as you can, other leg forward, let your upper body hang. Arms beside your ears, pull your bellies in, lift your kneecaps up to engage your thighs, sweep the arms in front, reaching up, feet apart for balance, arcing back. Inhale, bring your feet back together, lift out of your waist, forward fold, bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead into prayer. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Take a sip of water if you like, and then let's just lie down for a moment and allow the benefits of our performance to be integrated. So take a moment when you're lying down, turn your palms up in the open and receiving position. Let your eyeballs sink into their sockets. Separate the biting surfaces of the teeth. Relax the jaw. And just breathe. I can't overemphasize the importance of the breath connecting the mind with the body. Inhaling so that the belly rises. Exhaling to release carbon dioxide and waste. Couple more deep breaths in. The practice of yoga stimulates the blood and the lymphatic flow, which not only helps our bodies rid themselves of toxins, but it also decreases inflammatory markers. And these are the indications that can be taken to discover even high iron levels in the blood, often of men, due to inflammation. So inflammation, reducing inflammation in the body, which we're doing when we practice yoga, is absolutely a key to keeping all of our organs and our glands functioning optimally, along with good nutrition, regular exercise, and a good night's sleep, of course. All righty, that will do. So bring your knees once again into your chest, or roll over onto your side and come on over onto your abdomens. Now, bow pose is not for everybody. Dhanurasana, it's very challenging. I'll just do a demonstration and then I'll give you another option. When you spread your legs wide apart, it's easier to take hold of your calves. So as I said, this is not for everybody. I'm going to give another option. But if you were to come into Dhanurasana, the idea is to kick the leg back. That lifts the body off the floor. That may be too much. I don't want you to stress yourselves out. So the other option, because we'll do Dhanurasana twice, is if you just want to do the one leg, which is much easier, you're going to grab the ankle on one side, opposite arm in the front. And then on an inhale, you're going to lift the head. And again, if you kick that leg back, it helps you to lift your upper body off the floor. Yes, it's demanding, and then we'll do the other side. Okay? So pick whichever one you feel is right for you today. Taking hold of one leg or both ankles. And on an inhale, you're kicking those legs back and lifting up. Hugely demanding, but by working our muscles, strengthening, stretching, and of course our brains get involved because they're saying, wow, this is tough, or oh, this is fun, or this is hard, or this is getting, I don't know, you know? Our brains are always a part of what we're doing, and releasing. And then turn your head to one side. Let your shoulders melt, big toes touch, heels splay out. So just take a moment to relax. And of course, note if you just did one side, you'll do the other side in a moment. Back bends, as you notice, are cardiovascularly demanding because your heart knows it has to distribute more blood. And in the blood is oxygen and nutrients to all the muscles to help them function optimally. And of course, the heart is a muscle we want to maintain to the highest level possible. And then bring your head back to the center. So if you were doing the one leg Dhanurasana, please try the opposite. And if you were doing both, take the knees as wide apart as possible, kick the legs back, lifting off the floor, and then you may do a little rocking or not. Awesome. Release, turn your head to the opposite side. Let your shoulders melt, big toes touch, and heels splay out. And then bring your head back to the center. Place your hands near or under your shoulders. Press up. And let's just come into one modified child's pose. So again, you're taking your knees as wide as your mat, big toes touch, flatten the tops of your feet, take your hips back. And if you want to make extra comfort, you might fold your forearms to rest your forehead, or if it's comfortable, let your forehead rest on the mat. Arms are just hanging loose. Breathing into your side and back ribs and stretching out that lower lumbar area. Inhale, come up, curl your toes under, roll back onto the soles of your feet. Keep your knees softly bent. Let your upper body hang on your thighs, pressing the soles of your feet into the floor. Give your head a little shake and then slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time with your head the last thing to come up. Okay, we're going to do a balance pose. Dhanurasana, because we all like to dance, right? Maybe not. Okay, but dancing is lovely. So I will start by balancing on my left leg. You will start by balancing on your right. Now in Dhanurasana, and we'll just do a little demo here. And again, as I used to say when I taught at the beaches, for some reason, coming off the mat seemed to make a difference. But let's see. And and if your balance isn't so great, just find something that you can hang on to. So in Dhanurasana, you take your ankle, lifting the other arm, and the important thing is to focus the gaze on the floor. And again, you're lifting and kicking with that back leg out. Focusing the gaze is key on the floor. Try to block and everybody out. Nice. Just block everybody out. Beautiful. I was busy watching you guys. I'll just take one more. Okay, let's see what happens on the other side. And if you were on your mat, we turned that heat right off, right? You didn't turn it up, did you? Yeah, just turn it right down. We're good? Thanks. Okay, so let's see. Give it a whirl on the other side here. Take your time, wait for your own inner cue. It's not about my cue. Breathe. In fact, just hold your leg for a moment. That's fine. Then when you're ready, you lift your opposite arm, you focus your gaze, you take your time. Part of resilience is learning to accept what is, the wobbles. In fact, I think about the Blue Jays. When the bases are loaded and they could use a run and they strike out, it's like, I can't even imagine. But they have to shake that off. That's resilience. So if you wish, you can try the first leg again or stay with the second. And some days balance just doesn't happen. Okay, let's grab our cushions, because the last thing I want to do is practice Nadi Shodhanan, alternate nostril breathing, again for resilience, to be able to calm the mind, activate your parasympathetic nervous system, and And again, the breath is the connection between our bodies and minds. So in Nadi Shodanhan, you're going to take your right hand, you're going to bend your middle two fingers in, and you're going to use your thumb to block your right nostril and your ring finger to block your left nostril. Okay? So you're going to bring your pointer fingers in, your peace fingers, you're going to bring those in. Thumb on right, ring on left. Now, before we get started, remember sitting comfortably upright as much as you can. So lengthening the body, also bringing yourself to the edge of your cushion helps to open the hips so that you can maintain a proper lengthened spine with the proper curves. Okay, so it's your right hand. Just get your fingers ready and then close your eyes, inhaling and exhaling. Drop your shoulders. Inhaling, separate the biting surfaces of the teeth, relax the jaw. And exhaling, letting those shoulders drop even more. Inhaling, bring your hand up and block your right nostril with your thumb. So now you're going to exhale in place and then inhale through the left nostril. Block the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Block, exhale through the left. Inhaling left. Block, exhale right. Inhale right. Block, exhale left. Inhale left. Block, exhale right. Inhaling right. Block, exhale left. Inhale left. Block, exhale right. And lower your hand. And let's bring our bodies flat out and relaxing. If you have your eye cover or you have a piece of clothing nearby, if you don't have an eye cover, please cover your eyes. A little bit of pressure over the ocular eye nerves helps to stimulate, activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the aspect that heals, restores balance to body and mind. When we live in a state of calm awareness, we tend not to overreact. We tend to be able to allow space for our thoughts and our feelings without being reactive. Palms are facing up in the open and receiving position. Inhaling so that your belly rises, and exhaling so that your belly falls. Inhaling the life force long, full, and deep. And deep. Exhaling. Inhaling long, full, and deep. And deep. Exhaling. One more time. Inhaling very, very deep. Stretching your arms over behind your heads. Point feet far, flex and point. And exhale and drop your arms down by your side. One more time, inhale, stretching your arms up, reaching, stretching, point feet far, flex and point, and drop your arms down by your side. Take a moment before you come back up to seated posture, rolling over onto your side, using your bottom arm as a pillow, bending your knees to keep your back safe. Couple of quotes from Lena Horne. It's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. And one that I really love by the Sufi poet Hafiz. You can bring yourself back up to a seated position if you can find your cushion. Hafiz, ever since happiness heard your name, it's been running through the streets trying to find you. That is Hafiz, Hafiz. If you wish to join me in chanting Om just one time to close our practice, sitting up nice and tall. This is so stimulating to your vagus nerve. I was going to talk about Viva La Vegas this week, but I pivoted into something else. So inhaling together. Om Shanti Namaste. Have a resilient day. Thank you. Any questions or comments are welcome. Please be sure to drink lots of water. Don't forget about that tree in Glen Manor. It's stunning. All the trees are stunning right now. They're unbelievable. We're so